Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Save Point podcast. This one's going to be a little off the cuff. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Final Fantasy VII. It's been on my mind a lot lately since E3 is just now wrapped up. And from the looks and sounds of everything, it is shaping up to be everything that I think a Final Fantasy VII fan wants, which is awesome. With Square, they're very hit and miss lately. They are, you just don't know what you're going to get with them. They seem to take one step forward and a couple steps back as far as like the type of games they release. And Final Fantasy specifically, Final Fantasy 15 was a good game. I enjoyed it quite a bit. The gameplay was probably my favorite in the series, at least recently. But the story wasn't quite there. And so it was, it had the makings of a great story. It had the foundation for a great story, but it didn't all quite come together, which I think is why they had so much post-release DLC. But with Final Fantasy VII, it looks like they're already taking obviously an established world, an established story, and they are kind of putting their 2019 spin on it. They're taking the best parts, it looks like and sounds like, of Final Fantasy 15 with what we already loved about Final Fantasy 7, kind of putting them together and making it fit for a modern generation and a modern console, which I'm super excited about. Just a little bit that we've seen, it visually it just looks great. They've said that they have a brand new voice cast for all of the characters, which I think is a great step. Everything looks and sounds great on paper. I'm just hoping it comes together well in execution. The battle system is more, you can play it as a traditional Final Fantasy where it's like kind of turn-based ATB type of situation, or you can play it more of an action game where you can assign your abilities and your different things to hotkeys and kind of play it that way, and keep the action from slowing down. So it's kind of up to you, and it looks like they're trying to bring in the best of both worlds in that regard, and you again play however you want. I'm super pumped. I'm super excited. I can't wait to see more. Obviously we've only seen the Midgar opening area, and by all accounts that's the only thing that is ready to go. That is going to be the first quote unquote game released in the Final Fantasy VII Remake series, it sounds like. My question is how much can they really stretch out of that? Now I know that they're going to go into a lot more of the nitty gritty as far as like side characters are concerned. It looks like Avalanche, Jesse, Biggs, Wedge, side characters that we didn't really get to see a lot of are going to have much more fleshed out backstories and more interaction with the main cast. So I understand that that's going to be, a huge thing. And I'm assuming we're going to get to see that for a lot of characters in the first, the opening area, which again is Midgar. But if I remember correctly, I played the original when it came out in 97. I was 10 years old at that time, and I've played it several times since then. If you know what you're doing, you can get through that Midgar area and out into the overworld in 5 or 6 hours. It doesn't take very long at all. And so my question is when they say, part 1 is going to be a full-length game, what does that mean? Does that mean it's a full-length Final Fantasy game, which is how I interpreted it? Is it going to be a 40, 50, 60-hour experience, or is it going to be a full-length game by modern standards where it's going to be, maybe 12 to 20 hours? And so I think, Square would be wise to, give us those expectations or set out those expectations going in and let us know. That way, if somebody's picking this game up, whether it's a new fan or a Final Fantasy VII fan previously, we know what we're getting into, because it would be very disappointing to, say it's a full-length game and have somebody, come away expecting that it's going to be a 40 to 60 hour full-length RPG experience when it's not really quite that, and maybe it's a third of that or something. The only thing that really, other than that, concerns me is the release schedule. Again, they don't have anything, and I think it was Game Informer that broke that they don't even really know what they're doing after this, as far as like the time frame is concerned, what they're doing after this release. By all accounts, the engine is built, the assets are there, so this part 2 or whatever it is should be a quicker turnaround. So hopefully we'll see it, maybe by March or spring of 2021, which would be a 12-month gap, which I think is pretty reasonable to have. If it gets longer than that, obviously they've said, I think today actually, or within the last 2 days, they've said that this game will be playable on PS5. I believe was the actual headline, or maybe it's going to be released for PS5 and be cross-gen. But if that's the case, this game will definitely be coming out to next-gen consoles, without a doubt. And I'm assuming that they would release all of the entire Final Fantasy VII franchise on PS4. But for the people that are early adopters, you should be able to pick it up for maybe PS5 as well. I just hope it's not too big of a gap. Again, this is the part where Square doesn't really have a great track record. You look at Final Fantasy 15, which was previously Final Fantasy Versus 13. Kingdom Hearts 3, while it technically wasn't announced too long before release, it was in production for quite a while. This Final Fantasy 7 Remake was, started by CyberConnect and then scrapped and then brought internally into Square and basically started over completely. So it's just, they don't have a great track record by releasing things on time. So that kind of worries me a little bit, but if it's as good as it sounds like it is, and again, obviously I haven't played it, I did not go to E3, but for the people that did, and listening to impressions and reading impressions, it looks like it's everything that we want, which is something that I can't wait for. I'm super, super pumped. Everything looks great. I'm just excited to see what is next. We know Midgar. We know, the beginning of the game so well. You have the opening mission where you bomb a reactor. And then, you go to Sector 5 and, you take care of that reactor. And then, I know all of the story beats all the way to, the wall market where, you have to basically, get Tifa back from, Don Corneo, I think was his name, the grimy slumlord of Wall Market. And for people that have played Final Fantasy VII before, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, going through the train graveyard and going back to again finish the battle at the top of the pillar at Sector 5 or Sector 7. And, going to, the actual Shinra headquarters. We know those story beats, or, anybody obviously that's coming back in as a Final Fantasy VII fan, they know those story beats. My question is what comes after that, or as far as like what the game looks like. Is it going to have a traditional open world map? Is it going to be kind of, once you leave Midgar, it's Skyrim-esque or The Witcher-esque in the sense that, really you can, it's an open world and you can go in any direction that you want. And, obviously there's a main story at play, but are they going to have, even though it's an open world, Final Fantasy VII, at least for the first part, for the first disc or even 2, really until you get the airship from Sid, the game was very linear, even though there was a huge map and a huge world to explore. You're basically going from point A to point B to point C, and then, so on and so forth. Are they going to stick to that, or is it going to be more open world and, again, 2019 gaming conventions where, there's certain side quests that maybe open up, maybe they add in some additional content and backstory that wasn't present in the 1997 version. Is that going to be, is that going to be kind of what we see? And also, I just want to see the look of it. What does the overworld map look like? What do other areas look like? Golden Saucer. There are so many different areas of this game that I think are really iconic, especially in the Final Fantasy VII series. I want to see I just want to see it, and I think that's a testament to how great this game is previewing, is that, for the people that are excited for JRPGs, traditional JRPGs, or Final Fantasy VII fans, obviously this speaks to them, the most. But I think that even if you only like, action RPGs and you don't really like the traditional JRPGs, this game seems to be previewing well with those people as, also, which I think is very exciting. It could open up a whole new generation to this beloved entry in this long running, series, dates all the way back to the NES. So I'm super pumped about it. I'm super excited. I can't wait to see more. I hope and pray that maybe by the end of the year, or I don't know when, but that we will see they'll actually release a demo, most likely, because I wanted to believe that there was a rumor online. I don't know if anybody else saw it, but I wanted to believe that they were going to release a demo immediately after the Square's E3 press conference, basically doing that open mission that we saw during the conference, that opening Mako reactor mission, where they detonate it and, you fight the Scorpion Sentinel at the end. Yeah, I can't wait. I don't know what else to say about it. It looks great. It looks amazing. And I'm excited to see more. It really looks like, again, with Final Fantasy 15 was overall very well received critically and commercially by all accounts. This game looks like it's going to, who knows how it's going to shape up in the end, the release schedule, how long it's going to be, if people are going to be excited for, episode 2 or whatever it's going to be called. But, if the first one really does come out in early March, and it's overall plays and reviews as well as it's previewing right now, I think that Square really has a big hit on their hands. And I think it's very cool to see this. This is, while not my personal favorite, I understand the importance of it. It really opened up JRPGs to the Western audience. That was very much a niche genre up until, the mid 90s, early 90s, mid 90s. Now we look back with kind of rose tinted glasses, and, there were exceptional games that we quote unquote hardcore gamers really liked. You look at, Chrono Trigger, and you look at Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy VI, and, some of the early Dragon Warrior games. And, if you look at the Sega platforms, you got Phantasy Star and et cetera and et cetera. This is the game that kind of made JRPGs cool to the everyday gamer. And so I'm excited that, there's a potential, this could potentially bring on a lot of people that don't traditionally play or like Final Fantasy or JRPGs or anything like that. But yeah, so anyway, that's kind of what I've, just wanted to share with you all. I watched the trailer a handful of times, more than once, a handful of times in the last 24 hours or so, and it's just been kind of on my mind. I wanted to share all that with you. But let me know what you guys think. I would love to, open up a dialogue. Tweet at me at SavePointVids. Tweet at me at SavePointJosh. Either one, I'll be happy to answer. If you like this video, please hit the like. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a like. Share it with a friend, please. This is very much a passion project, and I cannot do this without you. But yeah, hit the subscribe button if you're so inclined. Let a friend know about it to check me out. I would definitely appreciate the support, and let me know what you think. I would love to, again, open up a talk and a dialogue. I could talk about gaming and Final Fantasy and those things all day, every day. So I would love to do that with you guys. So let me know. And until next time, everybody stay safe.
You're not real. You're Cloud. I have a favor to ask of you. Run away. You have to leave. You have to live. You bastard! Yeah! Hold on to that hatred.